here I am in your life.
Here you are in mine.
Yes, we have the sweet life.
Most of the time. You and me, we got the world to see, so come on down.
Just me, you know what to do, so come on down.
It's you and me and you. We got the whole place to ourselves.
It's you and me, we got it all for free, so come on down.
This is the podcast.
This is the podcast. Alrighty, guys, welcome to another episode of the As Told by 90s Kids podcast. Today we're talking about a Disney show that wasn't a cartoon and wasn't necessarily in the 90s, but one that started up in 2005 and ran all the way to 2008, spawning a couple TV movies and a spin-off series. For those of you who have never seen it or don't know, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody centered around a hotel with two twin hooligans who were kind of messing things up all the time. It had a great series of characters. Besides just Zack and Cody, you had Maddie, who worked the candy counter, and London, who was essentially just Paris Hilton.
And don't forget about Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez.
I feel like that deserves an applause. Anyway, so Jordan, what do you remember the most about Zack and Cody?
Well, I remember the most about it is the kid looked so familiar when I first started watching it, and I was like, who is this kid? I know I've seen him before. And then it was two of them, and then I went back and watched Big Daddy, and I was like, oh my god, I did not know that kid from Big Daddy was twins. And so like I was watching the series like, oh my god, this is the twin from Big Daddy. And I know that movie doesn't hold up as well, but as a kid I quoted the heck out of that movie, and just like, you know, I thought it was very humorous. And so I was watching the show, and I was like, oh my god, wow, this is great. And then also I'm not gonna lie, I had the biggest crush on Ashley Tisdale back in the day. Like I didn't watch, the only reason I watched High School Musical was for her. And so like I was just like, she is so beautiful and gorgeous. So that is why I watched it. And then I just remember like London Tipton and Brenda Song doing great. And then of course we all remember the freaking housekeeper of the show. I'm blanking on the freaking dude's name. I know. Oh my god, I literally just said it. It was Mr. Moseby. Mr. Moseby.
Fun fact about him is he killed somebody a long time ago in a hit and run. 1991 car crash. In late December 1991, Lewis was arrested after he crashed his car head-on into a car driven by a 21-year-old driver. He later died from injuries, and Lewis was charged with drunk driving.
Well, that's a very optimistic thing to put in a 90s podcast.
It happened in the 90s.
Oh, yes! Okay, see? We go there for that thing, people. We always hit that 90s goal, because a lot of people have been complaining that we don't talk about enough 90s stuff, so there you go.
We had to pull the 90s in, since Zack and Cody is 2005.
Remember, guys, we're 90s kids. It's about the experience of 90s kids, not 90s shows. Anyways, continue, Megan.
Well, Quinn, what is your most memorable part of Zack and Cody?
For me, I would probably have to say the most memorable part of Zack and Cody would probably have to be the contrast in personalities. And the reason why I'm saying this is that you have two twins. And, you know, Jordan, obviously, the slickster that he is, he took one of my major points I was going to talk about with Big Daddy. Thanks a lot, Jordan. But anyways, one of the biggest things is, like, when you have two twin kids, you can't have a story in which, you know, they're basically the same. So I got into the show really because I was watching how they played off of each other. And basically because you had like one kid that was smarter, the other kid who was more of a doofus. It really made like a great contrast for, you know, the show itself. And fun fact about the actual, you know, the Dylan and Cole Sprice, they're actually both great students in person.
For me, it's pretty much the same as Quinn, with the way that, like, the differences in the characters, especially Maddie in London, was always a big thing for me. Especially the episode where London goes and stays at Maddie's house, and they're watching the baseball game, and the peanuts get thrown through the window, and she's like, oh my god, your bed comes out a wall! It was just, all the characters were so greatly written. God, Zack and Cody's such a good show. So, who would your favorite character have to be, Jordan?
Esteban Esteban Julio Ricardo Rosa Mandero Ramirez. I love saying his name. Like, I just love saying his name. Sorry to any of our Hispanic fans, but I love seeing just him like coming in with like, well, I remember when I was a boy, I had to like fight the duck or something. He would like always have the most asinine stories to tell, or like he would just say it in the funniest way. And I just thought that was hysterical. So that was definitely my favorite character of this entire show. Just hearing him play off each other, I thought that was great. And then Ashley Tisdale's character Maddie, I loved her because she's just the straight man of the group. It was like, what? What's going on here? Why are you doing this? Why did you think it was a great idea to get all this chocolate pudding? What? It's one of those things. I thought those two were definitely my favorite.
I'd probably have to say London because I just thought that she was just such an airhead in every way possible that it actually made her an entertaining character to watch. I mean, she literally was so clueless to so many things. That's why I agree with that analogy you used earlier when you were saying that she was basically the Paris Hilton of the series.
Well, she is. Her name is London Tipton. It's literally a play on Paris Hilton.
I cannot believe I've never noticed that. Wow.
For those of you who don't know, the Tipton is the hotel they're in.
I can't believe I never caught that in all my years watching that show. That's why doing videos in groups is great. Great to have you, Megan. I never noticed that.
But yeah, my favorite characters were probably Maddie and London. I really loved Maddie. Ashley Tisdale's just a really great actress, and Maddie was a really good character. And like Jordan said, she's cute, and she's still cute. So, Jordan, do you think that The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody still holds up today?
Well, I would say yes and no, because there are some parts of it that are just like, okay, this is so super corny. I mean, compared to Disney's new shows, then yeah, this is like freaking Citizen Kane of Disney shows, okay? Like, compared to all these new ones they got out now, yeah, it holds up in that regard. But like, as an adult, like, it's good to watch for nostalgia purposes. Like, oh, I remember the shows when I was like, so it came out in 2005, so I was about 14, so just out of that kid age and like hitting it. And I thought it was entertaining, and it entertained me up until I was 17. And I would say it still has that, nostalgia factor. Like Quinn always says, nostalgia is a very powerful drug, and you can watch it over and over again. So if you're in the mood for it, then yeah, definitely. But if you're just someone who's like, oh, this seems like a good show to check out, it might not capture you, but it has a lot of moments you might enjoy. But how about you, Quinn?
Yeah, I'm going to put even more this time. Wait till you see. Well, the interesting thing is that, in my opinion, I think the more Dylan and Cole Sprouse aged in the series, it made it a lot more, altering to what it originally was supposed to be. Because when you think about it, it was supposed to be like these young kids, their immature adventures. But as they got older, it kind of felt like, all right, they're acting a little too immature for their age. Because most kids at this point are not that immature. And I think that as the show went on, it kind of lost its appeal. But during the earlier stages of The Sweet Life in Zack and Cody, I thought it was funny, and I definitely think they had enough characters to play off of each other to make the show engaging enough. And I also think the mother was interesting too, as she was a single parent. She's basically raising these crazy boys. So it had the opportunity for success in the early stages, but as it dragged on, I think it declined.
Am I the only one who thinks that Zack and Cody held up? I still love it. Like, I can still go back and watch it and enjoy it. But like Quinn said, with them getting older, it was the Sweet Life on Deck that really made me go, okay, this needs to stop.
Well, the thing is, Megan, when I was thinking of The Sweet Life in general, I was actually including both shows in my mind together. And that's why I was saying, like, the Sweet Life on Deck is where I really think the show took it wasn't necessary. Just a cash grab.
Well, they were going to continue, so let's touch on this topic really quick. I know I sent you guys the article about it. Dylan and Cole Sprouse actually went to Disney, and they pitched another show for after The Sweet Life on Deck that was kind of going to keep The Sweet Life going, where they could kind of be written out. And Disney went, no, that's stupid, we're not going to do it. Called them back in with the same story, and they're like, we want to do this show. And it was the same exact thing, except like with Selena Gomez and on a beach. And they were like, no, screw you, Disney, we're gone.
That That is some oh man, that is like the worst like Hollywood ass. Oh, hey, look, I made this amazing story. It has all this great character development, and hey, you know what's good about it is I can actually leave the show, but the story can go on. And what do you say? Would you like it? Nah, that makes no money, kid. All right, that's actually genius. Let's write the story. Okay, all right, let's pitch back to him. Hey, you want to join our series we got? Hey, it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good now. I think you enjoy it. This is our show. Well, yeah, I know it. Get the hell out of my face. Get that mouse away from me. Oh, let's get those kids. And just like...
So, now that we've all talked through this crazy maniacal Jordan going through his adventure here, let's talk about some random things. One of my personal favorite moments of all of Zack and Cody is when they were doing the High School Musical play, and Maddie is auditioning for Sharpay, and she does the Bop to the Top song, and she's doing it just terribly, and the guy is like, the guy's just looking at her, and she goes, "Oh, it's great, isn't it? Everybody tells me I look just like Sharpay." And he goes, "Yeah, keep telling yourself that." And that is so funny to me, because she is, Ashley Tisdale is Sharpay. It's just, that's such a great
so
line.
Meta.
Brilliant.
I think for me, one thing that I always found really random about the show is that the mother should probably on medical watch because of all the things that she goes through with all of her sons. I mean, if you okay, just think about this as a parent, because I know that we watch the show as like adults looking back on it as these kids, but if your kids were consistently getting into trouble that often, what would you think as a parent? Like, at what point, at some point, what does grounding do? What do you ground them? They're in a hotel.
Well, they had episodes like that where they got grounded and they snuck out. Wasn't there one where they were being babysitted and they snuck? I can't remember.
Yeah, there was. They were getting babysitted by someone, and then I think they kept sneaking out because the babysitter was really incompetent.
But what I'm saying is they're pretty much on lockdown anyways because of where they live, so it's not like they have that many options. So I always found that really interesting about the show. Like, punishing them was always a joke to me, in my opinion. That's something random I could add.
Well, one of the really strong things that had to do with them causing trouble and living in the hotel is you had the deep message of like, hey, if you guys fuck up too bad... Oh, can I say that? I'm sorry.
No, you can curse. This is uncensored.
Okay. If you guys fuck up too bad, we're gonna get kicked out of the hotel. The mom is like, I will lose my job and we won't have a place to live. And that, that always kind of spoke to me, like, you guys better take it down a notch.
No, well, at least the mother here makes the freaking parents from Rugrats look like Michael Jackson in comparison. So, she like cared and did some stuff, but I would say for me, my personal random thing, like just because I remember this was like a big event when it happened, was there was a crossover that I think you both know about, where it was a combination of That's So Raven, Hannah Montana, and The Sweet Life, and so like all three of them like just mixed together, and I was just like, oh, is this real life? And then like, crossovers back then, they happened occasionally. Like, hell, even on what was it, Lilo and Stitch, they would have a crossover like where, yeah, Kim Possible was on that, and then freaking Proud Family was on that, and even the Recess Kids were on that. So like Lilo and Stitch had one of those. That's a topic for another day, people. But I just thought it was so cool, like just seeing them all play off each other. Like, you act like this, and you're like, yeah, I act like this. You got a problem with that? Oh my God, do you think Hannah Montana and this person are the same person? Yeah, totally. It's just I thought it was it was a good thing.
So I think that's everything we have to say on this episode of As Told by 90s Kids. I'm Megan. If you'd like to find me, I'm online pretty much anywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Uncanny Megan. Jordan, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Jax Blade Fitness, on Tumblr at Jax Blade, Facebook, Jordan Jax Blade Downs, Instagram, Jax Blade, and then, of course, my YouTube page, Jax Blade. Quinn, how about yourself?
And you can find me on Facebook and Twitter, and let's not talk about YouTube because you're watching this video on my channel. But you can find all of the links to Megan and Jax Blade in my description. So please go and check it out and help these supporters. So with everything else said, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys. And Jax,
Like we always say, keep calm and booyah on. And don't forget, Momentai.